Shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this update. Whether you need a domain, website, online store, whatever, make it with Squarespace. Get 10% off your first purchase when you go to squarespace.com/theknow. Welcome to The Know. I'm Brian. How was your weekend, everybody? I hope you got to play some video games. I hope you're doing good. Let's get the week started by running down the games coming out this week. Now, there's nothing super big, but if you're a Switch owner, there's some stuff you should be aware of, like the RPG Moonlighter. That is out for the Switch today. Very cool concept, lets you manage a shop, then go out and explore at night. It's a little Stardew Valley, a little Harvest Moonish. It won Best Indie Game at GDC this year. Definitely worth checking out. Tomorrow, we get the first-person shooter Overkill's The Walking Dead. That's out for PC. Also tomorrow, there's the survival game The Forest for PlayStation 4, as well as World of Final Fantasy Maxima for PC and all three consoles. Now, that is an enhanced edition of World of Final Fantasy that came a few years back. It's basically a Final Fantasy spin-off RPG. It's got some chibi characters, very cute, but also a decent Final Fantasy game. Last but not least, on Friday, get ready. Tetris Effect is coming out for PlayStation 4. In case you need another Tetris in your life, there it is. All right, Red Dead Redemption 2 had a great second week at retail in the UK. GamesIndustry.biz reported that it remained the top game when it came to physical copies sold in the UK. Its sales did drop 51% compared to the previous week, but that's still not a bad drop-off compared to other AAA games in the same time period. Now, the top 4 games all hung onto their spots from last week after Red Dead 2, Black Ops 4, then FIFA 19, then Forza Horizon 4. Interestingly, Spider-Man climbed into the 5th spot, beating out Assassin's Creed Odyssey. All right, if you haven't gotten a chance to play the Fallout 76 beta yet, you've got 2 more chances this week. Bethesda says in a tweet that the last 2 betas will take place tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern, and on Thursday, that one's a little bit longer, from 2 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Both betas are for all platforms, and if you pre-order the game, you can access it. Hopefully they've cleaned out that PC bug that caused the whole thing to delete, but you know what? Play at your own risk. And while the game is not out until November 14th, modders, they're already doing their thing. We've already seen mods for the game that let you do things like change your suit color. I'm sure there will be a lot more in the future. All right, pour one out for the giant cube in Fortnite. Millions of people watched the big purple beast come to a spectacular end over the weekend. On Sunday, the cube, which a lot of people refer to as Kdin, out of nowhere started spinning, started pulsating, then finally blew up. And a lot of people watched it. 3.5 million people watching on both YouTube and Twitch. After it exploded, it got trippy. It was a little acidy. Players were taken to some kind of weird, ethereal area, kind of like heaven a little bit. You could float around. Then there was a cool looking butterfly who was like, hey, what's up? I want to touch you. You touch it, boom. Then you're back to the Leaky Lake map, but it's been modified now. So definitely a cool event. RIP to Kdin. You lasted almost 2 seasons. We appreciate you, dude. And we kind of had a spiritual awakening because of you. All right, if you're a Minecraft player, the game is about to look a whole lot better. Well, kind of better. It's Minecraft. But the game's developers did announce that the version 3 texture pack for Java is now available. On the site, they wrote that way back in January, we released version 2 of the textures in a downloadable pack. And now, just 10 months later, it's time for version 3. That's awesome. Java Edition players can check it out right now. And it's coming to all versions that have the Minecraft Marketplace very soon. All right, if you have ever wanted to watch YouTube on your Switch, maybe watch some videos while taking a dump, you might soon get your wish. Some folks on Reset Era found some interesting notices on the Nintendo of America website saying that the video player for YouTube is coming to the Switch November 8th. No official confirmation from Nintendo, but they already have Hulu on it, so this definitely seems like YouTube would also be a good fit for the Switch. You can watch The Know while peeing. Last night, let's do some entertainment news. Last night was Andrew Lincoln's second to last episode of The Walking Dead. Don't get too upset though, because it looks like he is not done with The Walking Dead universe. Not by a long shot. Rick Grimes might not be on the show after next Sunday, but Lincoln will be appearing in multiple Walking Dead spin-off movies for AMC. Described as the continuing story of Rick Grimes, current showrunner Scott Gimple will be in charge of these movies, which he says will have the scope and scale you expect expect with a feature film. Now, these will likely air on AMC, and you will not have to wait long because the first one going into production next year. All right, we've been hearing rumors about the MCU bleeding over to Disney's streaming service for over a year now, and most recently we've heard that Loki, Scarlet Witch, Falcon, and Winter Soldier might be getting their own time to shine on this service. Now MCU head honcho Kevin Feige has spoken about what to expect in a little bit of a cagey way. He was talking at a roundtable with other producers for The Hollywood Reporter. Feige said, "We're going to tell stories for the streaming service that we wouldn't be able to tell in a theatrical experience, a longer form narrative. That's what comics are. It's about as long form a narrative as exists, but also maintaining that theatrical experience, which is our bread and butter." Which I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, and I read the quote. It might sound a little bit obvious, but it does signal that he's kind of willing to fold these limited series into the larger MCU canon in a way that Marvel hasn't done with their TV stuff so far. So it'll be interesting to see how they make it all fit together. All right. That is all the news we've got for you today. Let us know what you think about all these stories down in the comments below. For all your news from every corner of the internet, like this video, subscribe to The Know, go to our website, theknow.tv. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this update. Squarespace is your one-stop shop for establishing your own little corner of the internet. Whether you need a domain, a website, an online store, whatever, it is super easy to get started. They got a free trial so you can check out their different design templates. They got 24/7 customer service, and they're an all-in-one platform, so there's nothing for you to install, patch, or upgrade. You don't have to deal with any of it. We've used them in the past. We made our holiday gift guide last year using Squarespace. I have spent a ton of time in there with the templates and the tools. And you know what? It is pretty easy to understand. If I can do it, literally anyone can do it. Your dog could do it. Your dog could make a website using Squarespace. They probably don't want me to say that, but I'm just saying it's easy. If you've already got a domain too, but if you haven't done anything with it yet, I can empathize. BrianGaar.com has been barren for a long time, but you can transfer it to Squarespace very easily, so you don't have to keep track of multiple vendors, and they'll help you manage products, orders, and inventory if you're putting together an online store. Try it out for free at squarespace.com. Then when you're ready to go, you can get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain by going to squarespace.com/theknow.